Okay, we will begin this meeting. Thank you for all being here. And I don't do this often enough. I kind of forget the routine sometimes, but I think, let's see, what do we do? Do we have roll call for the members?
We'll start with the sure. Okay, we'll start with the roll call. Board Member Glenzer. Board Member Milich.
Zoom.
And Chair Hawkins.
Present, thank you.
Okay. All three board members are here and ready to proceed.
Okay. One of the things we always start with is this is an formal hearing and formal rules of evidence do not apply. The board may consider any evidence or information deemed relevant and reasonably reliable.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if we could go and start with the consent items first, which is to review the approval of the minutes.
I agree.
And then we'll open it up to public comment and then we'll start the hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure the order of that. So
Yeah, thank you.
we have 7 different meetings and we have provided the minutes for those. And so I have read them. I think they all look good to me. I would like to approve these as a whole, but I first ask the board members if you have any questions on any of the minutes.
I don't have any questions. I reviewed them and they all seem in order.
Okay, and I agree. Stephen, what about you?
I move approval of all 7, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Second,
okay. And vote, roll call,
Okay. Chair Hawkins,
I approve.
Board Member Milich,
Yes.
and Board Member Glenzer.
approve.
The minutes pass 3-0.
Okay. And the next thing is public comments. Are there, as we open this, are there any public comments?
On items not on the agenda.
For items not on the agenda. So if
Yeah.
there's anyone attending the Zoom meeting virtually or in the city council chambers that would wish to address the board on any item not on the agenda, now would be the time to do so.
With a 3-minute maximum.
And our clerk can give a announcement of how to make public comments online.
For members of the public are encouraged to join our meeting via Zoom Gov, to a secure service that connects you live with no lag time. This meeting is also streamed live on YouTube with a 10-second delay and Comcast channel 25 with a 90-second delay. If you'd like to provide public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure to join in a time to accommodate delays. To join Zoom, from your computer or your phone, use the link or phone numbers on the agenda posted at isearch.org. To join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864. That's a toll-free number. And the webinar ID number is 161-604-4758. And to raise your hand, dial 9. Once called upon, dial *6 to unmute. This meeting is also streamed on live on YouTube. At this time, we do not have any public comments.
Okay. Then we will move on to item number 8. The main thing we're listening to today is appeal of police chief's non-renewal of massage establishment permit number YL 1900010 for Jade Healthcare Center at 443 Lighthouse Avenue in Monterey, California. Appellant is Ying Li, Jade Health Center. So we start then, where do we start?
I'll give an initial disclosure. This is a public hearing. I'm Christine Davy, the city attorney. I'm representing the board today in this matter. And I only have information that's been put in the packet to the board. We have an ethical due process screen. So I have not discussed this case with city staff or with the Assistant City Attorney, Karen Salama. That's to ensure that there is due process. So with that disclosure first, and then if you want to go through the rest, or I'm happy to do so, whatever your pleasure
Okay,
on the due process, on the presentation.
okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this is a public hearing. The city does bear the burden of proof in this matter, and hearsay is admissible. But the whole case can't be based solely on hearsay. And the city will put on its case first, followed by the appellant.
Okay.
The burden of proof is by preponderance of the evidence.
Correct. Would you
Okay.
like them to start now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, Chair and board members. I'm Karen Salama, the Assistant City Attorney, and I'll be representing the Police Department today. If it pleases the board, I have a short PowerPoint to serve as an opening statement, just to sort of set the scene. So, as the chair mentioned, we're here today due to the non-renewal of the massage establishment permit for Jade Health Center. Under the Monterey City Code, it's unlawful to operate a massage establishment without first obtaining a permit from the Monterey Police Chief. So the evidence today is going to show that in early 2021, Jade Health Center was issued a permit. There's the permit number to operate as a massage establishment in the city of Monterey. Permits are valid for 1 year and must be renewed annually. Inspections, the police department was called out and went to the establishment on January 1st and then did another inspection on January 31st. And so you'll hear testimony today from the officers who were present on scene on both of those dates. And then you'll hear testimony from the police chief that in March of 2022, he issued his decision to not renew the permit. So just some of the rules and regulations in the Monterey City Code. Under 31.9, the massage establishment operator is responsible for the conduct of all employees while those persons are on the premises of the massage establishment. So the operator in this case was Ying Liu, the appellant. The city code provisions that were the evidence will show were violated were 31.2, massage may only be provided by a certified massage therapist or practitioner. So in the state of California, the CAMTC, California Massage Therapy Council, licenses massage therapists. Under 3B, no person may perform massage on the premises unless listed on the city's massage establishment permit. Subsection E, no massage establishment may operate under changed conditions from those approved in the permit. So this would be if you had a permit that authorizes, Jane Doe to perform massage, you can't then have John Smith perform massage without first getting that approved, the amendment. And it is required in 5F that the permit application must contain the name of all individuals who will perform massage on the premises. 5G, the permit application must contain a copy of each employee's CAMTC identification card. Under 13C2, each employee performing massage must display on his or her person a valid CAMTC ID card. And then copies of those also have to be kept in an accessible location on site and displayed in the main entry area. Under subsection K, the name of the on-site manager must be displayed in the main entry area as well. There must be an on-site manager or operator present. And then under subsection Q, only managers, massage therapists, and patrons may go into the treatment areas. So in the code, that's defined as beyond the reception area. So, oops, I'm sorry. Then when it comes to non-renewal, the police chief looks at these factors in this case. The person to whom the massage establishment permit has been issued or any person employed there violated the provisions we just went through. And then under B7, the massage was performed on the premises without a person who had a duly authorized CAMTC license. So both of those factors were at play here.
Okay.
Depending on how the board wants to structure it, I don't know if the appellant wants an opening statement or just go into our case and then have theirs all together.
So appellant, if it's up to you at this point, would you want to proceed with an opening statement now, or do you want to reserve that for when you put on your main case? Okay. Okay, then the city can just proceed with its case now then.
Okay. So in that case, we will call our first witness, Karen Fro. Ms. Fro, I'll just have you sit here and I'll move over. Would either the city attorney or the chair like to swear in Ms. Fro, or would you prefer I do so?
Sure. Ms. Furrow, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Could you state your name
Karen Farrell,
and what is your job?
I'm Senior Administrative Analyst for the Monterey Police Department.
As part of your regular job duties for the police department, do you process applications for massage establishment permits?
Yes, I do.
Was a massage establishment permit issued to Jade Health Center in early 2021?
Yes, it was.
Do massage establishment permits specify who may perform massage at the establishment?
Yes, they do.
Okay, I'm going to show you what is attachment 1 to today's agenda report. Do you recognize that document?
I do.
What is it?
It's the permit application
For Jade Health Center?
for Jade Health Center, yes.
Okay, and under this permit, who is authorized to perform massage at Jade Health Center?
Ying Lu. And she's the only one listed.
The only person, okay. So if an establishment hires a new employee mid-year, can that employee perform massage at the establishment?
If they, I'm sorry, say that again.
So if Jade Health Center hired a new employee partway through the year, could they perform massage at the establishment?
Only if they amended the permit.
Okay. Did Jade Health Center ever apply to amend the 2021 permit to add new massage therapists?
No, they did not.
Okay. That is all my questions for you. If the appellant has any cross-examination. Okay. The department's next witness is Sergeant Ruchchow.
Good morning.
Could the witness be sworn in?
Yes, do you hereby affirm and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Could you state your name for the record?
Jeremiah Rutzchow,
And what is your job title?
Police Sergeant.
Is that with the Monterey Police Department?
Yes,
On January 1st, 2022, did you go to Jade Health Center at 443 Lighthouse?
yes, I did.
Why?
I was responding to a criminal investigation.
And what was that regarding?
Sexual assault?
Okay. When you arrived at Jade Health Center, was there a manager or operator present on site?
There was one employee, not the manager.
Not the manager. Do you recall the name of the employee?
She identified herself as Hannah. I believe her legal name was Hong Lee.
Was she a licensed, CAMTC licensed massage therapist?
When I spoke to her, she said that she did have a license and was performing massages, but that she did not have a license displayed or the ability to present it to us.
Okay. And just to break that down a little bit, so she admitted that she performed massage at Jade Health Center.
Yes,
Okay. Did she have, so you mentioned she did not or was not able to produce her CMACT ID. So that means she did not have it displayed on her person. Is that correct?
correct.
Did you see if Hongi Lee's massage license was displayed in the main entryway?
It was not.
Okay. Now, did Ms. Ying Lu, she also went by, I believe, Angela, did she arrive while you were on scene?
Approximately 20 minutes later.
Okay. Now, when you arrived on site, I think you mentioned Hongi Lee was the only employee there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And did Ms. Hongi Lee or Ms. Ying Lu inform you that anyone else that day had performed massage at Jade?
Yes.
And who was that?
Subject identified himself as first name of David, last name of Wang.
Okay. And did he also arrive on scene while you were there?
Yes.
Did he admit to performing massage that day at Jade?
Yes.
Was Mr. Wang or David a CAMTC licensed massage therapist?
No.
And does that mean then that his CAMTC license was not displayed in the entryway of Jade?
That's correct.
Had Mr. Wang entered the massage treatment areas of Jade Health Center and also permitted patrons in the treatment areas without a licensed massage therapist on the premises?
Yes.
During when you were on scene on January 1st, 2022, were these violations brought to Ms. Lu's attention?
Yes.
And did she acknowledge that these were violations?
The violation we specifically discussed was the lack of permit for Mr. Wang, and she acknowledged that.
Okay. Okay, that's all my questions for Mr. Rushton. If you have any cross-examination.
Good morning, sir.
Quick question. We're talking about the dates that you arrived at the scene. You're saying it's January 1st of 2022.
That's correct, sir.
Was it not New Year's Eve that the actual picnic did take place?
Oh, if you could turn on your microphone, there's a little, you can take off your mask. And you can, there's a little green button. Is the mic on? There we go.
Thank you. Can
Thank
you
you.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. Did the incident not take place on New Year's Eve of 2021?
Can I refer to my report?
Absolutely.
No, it did not.
Okay. At the time when you walked in and you had met the person that you called Hannah, and I'm sorry, I don't have her name. Was she performing massage at the time when you walked in?
No,
Okay. All right. Did you issue any tickets at that time?
no,
Okay. When did you issue a ticket?
I did not issue a ticket.
Okay. Another officer there at the scene that issued a ticket?
No,
Okay. So on January 1st, 2022, you came in investigating an incident of sexual battery?
correct.
Okay. And no tickets were given to anybody at that time?
Not regarding city code violations.
Okay. So you do say that when Miss Lee, or excuse me, Miss Lou, when she walked in, you did advise her of all of the non-compliance?
Not all the non-compliance, just the lack of permit for Mr. Wang.
Okay. What happened to Mr. Wang after you were done talking to him?
He was arrested.
Okay. And what was he arrested for?
Sexual battery,
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
a felony.
A felony. Okay. Okay, thank you.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
The department's next witness is Sergeant Jenkins. You want to swear in the witness?
Do you so solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you will give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you state your name for the record?
Russell Jenkins.
And what is your job title?
I am a sergeant for the Monterey Police Department, and I currently supervise the Community Action Team.
As part of your role on the community action team, do you regularly conduct inspections or compliance checks of massage establishment?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay. On January 31st, 2022, did you go to Jade Health Center?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Why?
To conduct a inspection of the massage parlor.
When you arrived at Jade, was the massage establishment permit issued by the city of Monterey displayed in an open and conspicuous place visible from the main entry door?
No, ma'am, it was not.
On January 31st, were there any employees present when you arrived on site?
Yes, ma'am, there were 3.
Do you recall their names?
Yes, ma'am. One of them, the last name was Chan, C-H-A-N. One was Chen, C-H-E-N. And one was Jing, J-I-N-G.
And when you arrived, were any of these individuals beyond the reception area, i.e. in the patron treatment areas?
Yes, ma'am, one of them was.
Do you recall which one?
Yes, ma'am.
Who?
Miss Jing.
And so she was in the back. Was a customer present with her at that time?
That is what she advised. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. And did Ms. Jing admit to performing massage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were Chan, Jing, or Chen certified massage therapists?
No, ma'am.
Did any of them display a valid CAMTC identification card on their person?
No, ma'am.
And so none of them had valid CAMTC licenses displayed in the establishment?
No, ma'am, they did not.
Okay. And was Jing, who admitted to performing massage, was she authorized on massage establishment permit to perform massage?
No, she was not.
Okay. When you arrived at Jade on January 31st, was an on-site manager present?
No, ma'am.
Were there any CAMTC licensed massage therapists on site at that time?
No, ma'am.
Did Ms. Ying Liu arrive at Jade while you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Was a copy of her CAMTC licensed ID card accessible on the premises?
No, ma'am.
Did she tell you where it was?
She said it was at home.
Okay. Okay, that's all my questions for Sergeant Jenkins. Do you have cross-examination?
I have a couple. Good morning,
And-
Sergeant.
Sorry, I realized I forgot to get your name for the record.
My name is John Filiguera.
Okay, and you're representing Ms. Liu today?
I'm her friend, not well, I guess you can call it representing. Yes.
Okay,
Problem is Miss Ying does have a language barrier, so she felt that I could present her views a little bit more clear.
okay, thank you. I just wanted to make it clear for the record.
All right. Wonderful. Let's see now. When you arrived at the shop, you say that you were met by who? I'm sorry, when you came into the shop to do
Miss
your inspection?
Chan, Miss C-H-A-N and
Okay.
C-H-E-N.
Okay. And who was the so-called masseuse that you claim that came out to say that she was doing a massage at the time? What was her name?
Her last name is J-I-N-G.
Thank you. When Miss Ying arrived, did she talk to you about an acupuncture license by any chance?
I believe so.
Okay, okay. Did she show you the acupuncture license?
The acupuncture license is on the wall.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you. The department's final witness is Chief Hober.
Chief Hober, do you so solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Chief, could you state your name for the record? Oh, take a minute.
Yes, David Hober, H-O-B as in boy, E-R.
We referred to you as chief, but can you explain your job title?
Yes, as the chief of police, I am charged with setting strategy, managing, leading, and organizing the Monterey Police Department, which includes enforcing the law, hiring, and the regulation of various types of business, and overseeing primarily those duties.
Well, if you could look at, I see you have it printed there, attachment 2 to the agenda packet. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is this?
This is a letter that we prepared and sent to Miss Lou advising her that we were not going to renew her massage permit.
And if you turn to page 3 of, or I guess it's page 4 of that letter, is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so ultimately you made the decision not to renew the massage establishment permit for Jade Health Center. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
And what led you to make that decision?
Well, based on the information that we've heard presented here, what I was made aware of was that there was a call to the location, to the massage establishment. And as a result of that call, officers learned that there was different violations, as have been stated. The one that concerned me the most was the fact that somebody was performing massage without a massage CAMTC permit. Obviously, the potential sexual assault that had occurred, and the other various issues, but that was the most concerning to me. And that then on January 31st, a second inspection was done. And during that inspection, there were other violations, but the most concerning was that massage was being given by non-certified CAMTC personnel. And in the regulation of massage businesses, I have a lot of concern to ensure first and foremost that people are certified so that they are trained to do massage and understand how to do massage. Second, it protects those that are going to get the massage. Next, it keeps the massage business professional, and we ensure that those who are doing it professionally versus those who might not be. And finally, part of that is to ensure that we do not have human trafficking, because we know that sometimes in the massage business, there is a high percentage or a percentage where human trafficking could be occurring. And by ensuring that there are regulations and following state guidelines and going through state processes to ensure that people are permitted, we ensure that many of those things are mitigated.
Thank you, Chief. And you touched on it, but just want to make sure we covered it. Based on your years of experience in law enforcement, why did you find it concerning that non-licensed personnel were performing massage?
Well, for the reasons that I have described, I want to make sure that the people who are performing massage are trained so that they're doing it appropriately. I want to make sure that the people that are getting massage are protected. I want to make sure that the regulatory process is kept whole. I want to make sure that we are following the guidelines of the state. All of our codes are based on best practices from the state through the CMTC. And for all of those reasons, also to protect actually the massage business, to ensure that it's a professional business in the city of Monterey. The other aspect of that and part of regulation is to ensure that if we are regulating appropriately, it gives us a more professional service in the city of Monterey versus an entity that might not be ensuring that regulation is occurring. And I think that the massage businesses understand that in the city of Monterey, we pay very close attention and ensure that they are in fact following the guidelines of the regulations.
Okay. Based on your professional experience as well as your years overseeing the massage establishment permit system for the Monterey Police Department, were the violations we've gone through today, were those serious enough to warrant non-renewal of the establishment permit?
Absolutely. And just to back up, I draw not on just my years of being the chief of police. I also draw on being the commander of the Criminal Intelligence and Vice Unit with the San Jose Police Department for several years, wherein one of the main duties was regulation of massage permits in the city of San Jose. And then moving to where we are today with these issues, those all become very important in the regulations of massage.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Those are all my questions.
Thank you. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. You have a very interesting bio, and I read it, and I'm very impressed. And so congratulations on that. The question that I have is what you had stated, that the regulation of the businesses here, the massage businesses here in Monterey. Do you actively have a program that you inspect every massage parlor that's here in Monterey?
Primarily what happens is we primarily react if we are made aware of issues that are occurring. That doesn't mean that we won't go and randomly inspect.
Okay.
But obviously, there's a lot of factors that the police department is charged with doing.
Okay.
So certainly, if we're made aware of a potential issue, we're going to go inspect at that point and most likely follow up with another inspection. But there are occasions when we do go out and randomly inspect without a specific complaint or being made aware of something that might be occurring. So to answer the question, we do both.
Great. And with your history being with the Monterey Police Department, have you had any complaints regarding Miss Lou's complex, her massage parlor or health spa? Did you receive any complaints from any of the public coming in prior to the one complaint that you're talking about, the sexual battery that took place?
Well, we had the complaint of the sexual assault, and I am not sure if we had previous complaints. There's something in my mind that there was one prior incident, I believe, at another business, but I'd have to check with my staff to.
Was that a business that Miss Lou owned at the time?
I believe so,
Okay.
but I'm not positive of that. I'd have to check with staff.
Well, I did try and ask to see if there were other complaints that came in from the public regarding her health spa, and no one would answer that, but thank you for your answer. And I'll probably follow up on that too, to see if there was an actual complaint. By chance, again, reading your bio, I know that you came into the Monterey Police Force in 2015. Is that correct?
Yes.
2015? And at that time, the massage permit laws were amended. By any chance, were you involved with that, with your experience in Vice in San Jose? And did you bring that over to Monterey and advise the board that if we did this, we could keep a tighter rein on the massage business and making sure there's no human trafficking, sex, prostitution, things of that nature?
So the law in regard to massage has changed over the years.
Yeah.
There was a time when, and I'm going to get this close, but not exact, cities were charged with having regulations in regard to that. The state then had some legal aspect where the state related that I believe cities couldn't do that, and it then fell back to state law, and then it went back to where the cities could, in fact, regulate or something like that, where it changed over time. When I got here, the city attorney's office was already very involved in updating the laws to follow best practices as were prescribed by the state board, the CMTC. And so I was a little bit involved with that, but really the regulations that we have in the city of Monterey are based on best practices as told to us by the state through the CMTC. That's what they are based on. So I was somewhat of a part of it, but no, the city attorney's office in Monterey is very squared away and dialed into what's occurring with current law. And they primarily were the ones who came up with those laws based on what had occurred and what was being suggested by the state, though I had some discussions about it.
Okay. And if Miss Lou did hire somebody, or if Miss Lou lost a masseuse, how long does it generally take to amend the permit to go and include that prospective masseuse on the permit so that they can go ahead and operate legitimately at the health spa?
I don't know exactly how long that would take. I'd have to
30
ask.
days, 60 days?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to
All right.
ask staff that question.
So we all know that in the last couple of years, business has been plagued with COVID. And so people are coming and going, people are staying home, people are fearful of what can take place with COVID. We all were wearing masks at the time. And again, I suspect it's going to be coming about. But my question is that if we have employees or masseuse that are coming and going, I was just trying to get to the point of how long would it take to say, I want to be legal, you can't work until I get the amendment done. And so you have to stay here. And now I'm out of business because I've got a licensed employee or licensed masseuse that's ready to work, but I can't do it because I don't have the amendment taking place. And that's what I was alluding to. So it would be very interesting to figure out how long it takes to get that amendment and what is the actual process of amending. So if I want to amend the permit, I file an application.
Well, I guess my response to all of that are two things. One, yes, we have just gone through a pandemic, but I would say that doesn't mean the rules should not continue to be followed, firstly. Secondly, I would relate that if somebody has an issue like that, they certainly need to reach out to us because they are subject to the rules in their permit, and that business owners are much more aware than I am, because it's their business that they need to ensure that they're complying with those rules so that their business then is not in jeopardy. So I would say the first thing is reach out to the police department so that we can amend that permit, regardless of the time that it's going to take. There has to be some initial aspect of advising us that something has changed.
Okay. Also, I briefly read through some of the laws regarding massage parlors. And again, I want to refer to Miss Lou's massage parlor as a health spa. I mean, she's not a quote unquote massage parlor, but they do perform massage there. Are you aware of the law or the exceptions regarding the laws from, I think it's 2230-1 through -16, that there's an exemption? People can be exempt from those certain laws, and who can be exempt from those laws?
I don't have that in front of me. Maybe if you specifically relate what it is that you're.
Well, I think it's I got it in the packet, and I think it's 2231-4, if I'm not mistaken. It's exemptions. And if there's people involved in healing arts, I think Business and Professions Code 500 states, if you're involved in the healing arts, you can go ahead and perform massage, and you're exempt from all of the laws from 1 through 16. Are you aware of that?
I have read some of that, but you're talking generally. I don't know specifically what you're relating to. But to answer the question, yes, I know there are some exemptions.
Okay. I think what I'm relating to is that when the officers came in and when Miss Lou came there on the 31st, when that other inspection was done, Miss Lou was trying to explain that they're operating underneath an acupuncture license that gives her the ability to do acupuncture and to do massage, and that they are exempt from following the rules from 1 through 16. And I think that's what I was referring to.
Okay, I don't know that to be the case. I don't know that not to be the case. That would again be a question for the officers and what they saw when they got there. And just because somebody is using one of those others, if they are providing massage, they still have to have a CMTC permit. Certainly, that would be a defense that I would think somebody would use. And as a police officer, I'm often told many things about what might be occurring. However, the investigation reveals that's not really what's occurring.
Right. Well, I do believe that according to the law, you don't need to have that certificate from the Massage Therapy Control Board, or I forgot what it was called, but you don't need to have that certificate on hand in order to do a massage underneath the acupuncture license. And so what I was saying is that at the time the officers did come in, they had mentioned there were employees and they were considered to be employees and they weren't employees. But I don't need to, get into that any further. I just wanted to get it on the record that yes, I thought it was the 31st. I could be mistaken when the sergeant said it was January 1st, but on January 1st, they were told that they're out of compliance. And at that time, that's when Miss Lou went ahead and said, okay, I need to go ahead and change things. And that's when I stepped in and started helping her to get things changed, applying for permits and getting things straightened out so that she can comply.
Sure. And I think that that's great. However, when Ms. Lou was provided with her permit, she was aware of what all those rules were prior to January 1st, and those things should not have occurred in the first place. And perhaps then a reported potential sexual assault wouldn't have occurred.
It's an alleged assault and it's in the courts right now. And I suspect that's going to be dismissed, to be frank with you. So we'll find out what takes place. But again, yes, you did go down there. A woman did complain and it's unfortunate that it had to take place. It's unfortunate that your officers had to come and arrest someone and take them away. So we'll find out what takes place with that. But that's all the questions that I have right now.
Thank you, sir.
Just a few follow-up questions. So I have a copy of the city code here. I'm going to show it to the chief. You're welcome to look at it in a minute. This is section 22-31.4 that appellant was just referring to. And just for clarity, if you could look at subsection A, which refers to the healing arts, and I think it'd be helpful if you could read that for the board.
Section 2231.4 sub A. Any individual licensed to practice the art of healing as defined under Business and Professions Code Section 500 at sequence while engaging in a practice within the scope of their license.
So again, based on your experience, would that mean that the person performing the service would need to be licensed, for example, licensed in acupuncture?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay.
Okay, you can step down. If I could briefly recall Sergeant Jenkins to the stand. Sergeant Jenkins, you understand you're still under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at the January 31st, 2022 inspection that you performed, you were asked whether Ms. Lou showed you an acupuncture license. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you shown acupuncture licenses for any other individuals?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you admitted, or you stated for the record that Ms. Jing admitted to you that she performed massage. That was your testimony earlier?
Correct.
Did Ms. Jing have displayed anywhere on the premises an acupuncture license?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Again, good morning, Sergeant.
Morning.
So when you came in to do your inspection on the 31st, did you see anyone performing massage at the time?
No, sir.
So when you were asking people and asking for identifications and asking if they're licensed, did they say that they were licensed?
They said that, no, they were not licensed.
Did they not tell you that, yes, at first they told you that they were all licensed?
No.
Well, then I don't have the tape to show you, but on the tape, when I reviewed the tape and when you asked if they were all licensed, I think it was a girl that I forgot her name. She goes by Jan or Jay. She said, yes, that they're all licensed. You don't remember
They weren't
that?
licensed.
Okay, and during the conversation, what had taken place, and again, they're Chinese. Were they not Chinese at the time that you were speaking to those people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did they understand English at the time?
One of them was conversing in English. But
Okay,
we also
was
utilized,
it broken English
excuse me.
or
we also utilized the language line so we could communicate better.
did you use the language line to communicate with them?
We did.
Oh, okay. When they said they had licenses, did they show you a massage certificate license or did they show you a driver's license?
Sir, they didn't have licenses.
All right, but did they show you a driver's license?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that they didn't understand fully what was going on. They were having troubles. Not only were they scared, but they had a language barrier and they didn't understand you fully.
Well,
And-
as I explained to you, we utilized the language line and had them specifically speak to them in Mandarin. And Officer Sabino used the language line to make sure that we were being very clear with them, that we were talking about having licenses to perform massages. And then we also identified them through their California driver's licenses.
Okay,
But they
So-
made it very clear that they didn't have licenses and they were not able to produce them either.
so when you say you were using a language line,
Correct.
okay, and was that on a phone?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, were you, and I guess you have a camera on your person when you walked into the health spa. And so that's what I was looking at and that's what I was reviewing. At no time did I see anyone point or show a camera or phone to the three people that you were interrogating and using a language line. So when did you do that?
When Officer Sabino and I were speaking to them,
Yes.
Officer Sabino had his cell phone in his hand and he was utilizing his cell phone to speak to the language line on speaker.
Okay,
Absolutely. It's on the body worn camera footage because I reviewed it as well.
okay, I'll take a look at that and see if that's there. But what I can tell you is that they didn't understand completely what was going on. And so when you walked in, you didn't see anyone performing a massage, although you said there was a customer there.
That's correct.
Okay, did you talk to that customer to see if he was having a massage done or acupuncture done?
No, that customer left.
Okay,
The lady that I spoke to, Miss Jing, she's the one that told me that she was with a customer.
okay.
That's
Did-
also on the camera footage.
Did she tell you that she was doing a massage at the time?
She told me a couple of different things, actually. She told me she was practicing
Practicing what, sir?
a massage.
Okay. All right. Did she
And
not
she
tell
said she
you
was
that?
Also in training.
I'm
She said
sorry.
she was in training
Okay.
and that she was practicing.
Okay, all right. Did she not tell you that she was getting the client ready for Miss Lou to come in and perform acupuncture?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, that's all I have.
No questions. Okay. The department doesn't have any further witnesses. We will reserve our closing arguments till the end.
Okay,
That would be the opportunity for you to call any witnesses.
right now, I really don't have any witnesses to call, so closing arguments okay. Do I get to go through closing arguments?
You sure do, yeah.
All right. Well.
Well, the city will go
Oh,
first and
okay,
then
I
you'll have your turn.
apologize.
Thank you, Board and Chair. Today, we heard testimony first from Ms. Fro that Ms. Ying Liu was the only individual authorized to perform massage at Jade Health Center. You then heard testimony from Sergeants Rutschchow and Jenkins about their two on-site visits at Jade Health Center. And they went through evidence showing numerous violations. This ranged from not having the required displayed permits that are required under the city code, not having an on-site manager present, to also having individuals who admitted they were performing massage who were not licensed by the CAMTC. That's a serious violation, and the admission is certainly admissible. Additionally, because they were not licensed, they were not able to display their licenses on their person as required by the code, or display them in the main entryway, the reception area. The officers observed themselves that individuals who were not licensed massage therapists were beyond the reception area. And that's also prohibited by the city code. So these are serious violations. The police chief testified as to why he felt the non-renewal was warranted given the violations. And the department therefore asks you to uphold that decision and deny the appeal. And finally, just to add, the acupuncture license is a red herring. That argument doesn't stand up because when you look at the actual city code, it's talking about the individual who performed the service being licensed. Whether or not Ms. Liu had an acupuncture license is really immaterial because both of the times the sergeants showed up to the establishment, the people there who actually performed the service were not licensed either by the CAMTC or by the acupuncture board. So that argument really has no bearing on whether the violations occurred in this instance. So again, we ask that you uphold the department's decision. Thank you.
Good afternoon. What I can tell you is that the acupuncture license is not a red herring, and that currently Ms. Liu is still operating the health spa here in Monterey, and she's doing it legally and legitimately. So I just wanted to point that out. The fact that we're talking about the other so-called employees admitting that they perform massage, well, of course, we all know that they admit that they were doing massage, and it was brought to Ms. Liu's attention on the first time that the police officers came in and inspected the building based on the sexual battery case that was reported on January 1st. At that time, Ms. Liu stopped doing massage because she didn't want to get in trouble. She needed to go ahead and comply with all of the rules that she was in violation of. And I think if you do look at the city code, it does give the chief of police the ability or the option to go ahead and deny a license based on not following the rules or not complying with the rules. And what that means to me is that if you're told that you have done something wrong, i.e. fix the ticket and get it done and then come back to us. And that's exactly what Ms. Liu was doing, is that she was fixing the tickets or fixing the non-compliance of what was happening at her health spa. It's Ms. Liu's intention to build a health spa to treat people here in Monterey. She has come from China 9 years ago. She's learned the language. She's an active member, she's an active citizen in Monterey. She owns 2 homes. She owns a commercial building in Monterey. She pays taxes. She shops here in Monterey. And it's her goal to have a spa, professional spa, to treat people. That's what she wants to do. I'm asking you to say, city council members, to overturn this denial, give her the opportunity to show that she is a professional, give her the opportunity to correct what is done wrong, give her the opportunity to prove in court that the sexual battery case was a malicious prosecution of her, that it actually did not take place, and then allow her to get professional masseuses that are licensed with the certification from the Massage Therapy Board. And that's what we're asking for. But in the meantime, this license that I can show you, an acupuncture license, is not a red herring. This gives her the ability to go ahead and not comply with the rules from the Section 1 through Section 16. So at the time that the police officers walked in on the second investigation or compliance check, it didn't matter how many people were standing in the massage building or the health spa building. It didn't matter. They didn't need to show licenses. Yes, they can admit that they were doing massages, but were they doing a massage at the time? No, they were doing massages prior to January 1st when they came in on the first compliance. And yes, they admitted to that. Were they scared? Yes, they were scared. Did they understand everything that the police officers were saying? No, they did not. Sergeant said that they were dictating words into a telephone and that they were talking or having an interpreter listen and or translate. And again, I didn't see that on the tape, but I will review the tape again. I can tell you that it would be a travesty if the permit were not renewed, and give her a permit based on probation. Allow her to pay a fine to stay in compliance because she was out of compliance the first time that they came. But the second time that they came for the inspection, she was in compliance with her acupuncture license. She was not in compliance with her massage license because she wasn't doing massage. And that's what I would like to see, is this board overturning what the police chief has decided to do and allowing Ms. Liu to go ahead and fix what needs to be fixed and continue doing her business so that she can start treating more people in Monterey. Thank you.
Can we hear from the police chief his thoughts on this? Is massage allowable under acupuncture license?
Okay, so if I think the hearing has been closed, if you want to reopen the hearing and ask questions, then sort of everyone would have the chance to keep asking these questions.
That's fine.
So the issue, so maybe you can state your question, maybe I can help answer it.
Well, something new has been brought up, which we hadn't really heard about before. And in my mind, is acupuncture license, are those rules the same as massage? Can you perform massage under an acupuncture license? And are the regulations the same as in terms of individually licensed for a acupuncture?
Do we even know whether or not that Ms. Liu had an acupuncture license?
Right.
Is that her license on the wall?
So we don't have any evidence submitted regarding the acupuncture license. We heard your testimony, sir, is not evidence. You're just presenting a case.
The sergeant said that
Liu herself about whether or not there is an acupuncture license. We heard testimony from Sergeant Jenkins that there might have been an acupuncture license on the wall. We don't know when it was effective. We don't know its validity. We haven't checked that, but I would submit that regardless of the acupuncture license, assuming it were valid and current, that does not authorize unlicensed people to be there
Right.
performing massages in the building. So
Right.
if one,
I understand that, but I want to find out
it doesn't extend to everyone else.
in whose name was the acupuncture license?
I don't believe we have any evidence of that in the record.
No, we don't. Didn't the first sergeant testify as to that he spoke to somebody and that they pointed to an acupuncture license on the wall?
That's correct. Yes.
And we don't know who that license was made out to or in whose name that was. And even if it was, so what? I mean, there's an argument that's being made that if you have an acupuncture license, you're exempt from massage licensing. And we have no evidence of that at all. It's just an argument.
The code does have a provision for exempting from the massage establishment permitting requirements for the healing arts. I'd need to pull up that Business and Professions Code 500 XSEC to see if that covers acupuncture. Assuming it does, that would only exempt the license holder from the rest of the city code massage requirements. It does not exempt someone from operating a business and having other people performing massages under it. Each person would need to have an acupuncture license, in other words, to
Gotcha. Okay.
wait to
So in other words, that whole thing is a red herring.
All it really means is if it's true, then maybe Miss Lou did not need to have the permit, but that for her own self to conduct a massage.
Thank you.
Am I able to speak or am I excluded?
At this point in time, the board is under deliberations. If the board wants to reopen the hearing and take further evidence and testimony, that's their discretion to do so. But they would need to deliberate that and discuss that.
City Attorney Davi, I actually have a kind of a procedural question. And here's what it is. I'm not entirely sure what the bounds are right now for what I can and can't ask. In the past, during these meetings, once arguments have closed, board members have been able to ask questions in terms of public deliberation, including asking questions that we didn't ask when the formal process was taking place. And I feel like I'm understanding now that we don't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to, if the board has questions, we can make sure they get addressed. We want you to be comfortable in your deliberations and in your decision-making. And so we want to reopen the hearing to do that. That's fine. You can do that.
Okay. What is our pleasure here for the next step?
I can make a motion.
We also should open it to public comment too. I don't know if anyone's on the Zoom line. I don't see anyone in the council chambers wanting to make public comment.
At this time, we do not have public comment.
Well, we didn't really open it and we do have an attendee, so I think,
That's Christian.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's just give an opportunity if anyone wants to raise their hand.
Can't hear you.
If anyone wants to raise their hand or call in, be a time for public comment. Were there any public comments, Madam Clerk?
At this time, there's no public comments.
There is an attendee. Does the attendee not have a hand raised?
The attendee is a staff member.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask one question. And my understanding is the owner asked for a massage permit originally with no indication of acupuncture. That's something totally new that just thrown in here at the last minute, and even the presentation doesn't talk about that. But we're here, I thought, because the owner had asked for a massage permit license with no comment about acupuncture. Is that correct?
The testimony that the board received thus far was that she did submit an application. That's attachment 1, I believe, to the packet. You heard that testimony from Ms. Farrow, that she submitted an application, it was approved, and it was not renewed.
As a massage.
For a massage establishment, correct?
Okay. So that's all we have to go by. She asked for a permit, was given to her for massage, and now we're throwing acupuncture in here, which totally obscures or something totally different than what we were asked to review at originally. So as my thought is, we're here to talk about a massage permit, which was not properly followed.
I agree.
Okay. So on that basis, we can't change our direction here in the middle of a hearing.
If a motion is in order, I would make one.
Okay, go ahead.
I move to deny the appeal for the grounds stated by the chief of police and the witnesses for the city.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
Could I just clarify, Chair Hawkins, does Vice Chair Milich's motion encompass adoption of the proposed decision?
Yes,
It's attachment 4 in the packet, starting on page 47.
Yes.
Okay. Do we need a roll call for vote? Okay,
Board Member Glanzer,
I'm in favor of the, what was moved.
Vice Chair Milich,
Yes.
and Chair Hawkins.
yes.
Okay, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. That concludes the hearing. The written decision is attachment 4 in the packet, and that will be signed by Chair Hawkins and delivered to the appellants. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I guess the final item on the hearing is board member comments, if there are any.
No comments.
Okay, then the meeting is adjourned at 10:10.